Are sunglasses secretly sabotaging our health? Well, it turns out there's more research indicating that we might want to be careful about how much we wear our sunglasses. And in today's video, we're going to dive into the science and we're going to have some fun. You're going to learn something new. So let's go. Have you ever wondered if sunglasses are bad or good for you? I never really thought much of it. I live in Texas and it's sunny a lot. So wearing sunglasses is kind of like a mainstay where I'm from. Most people do it. But as I was researching one day about melanin production and a pineal gland, I found this interesting topic that mentioned about how if we're blocking light from our eyes, we can actually be causing more harm than good. And what's crazy is at night, a lot of us are into blue blockers because of the screen, staring at screens at night. We know we shouldn't be looking at blue light at night because it disrupts our sleep. Well, it turns out when we wear shades during the day, we're actually doing the exact same thing, but in a more counterproductive way. So check this out. Our eyeball actually needs full spectrum of light. And there's certain hormones that are produced by our body that not only help protect us from the sun, but help keep us tan, but they help regulate our mood and our sleep. So let's go into that. So one of these first hormones that we want to talk about is melanin. And melanin is our natural sunblock. But here's the caveat, guys. If we're wearing sunglasses and the full spectrum of light can't get into our eyes, then our body won't produce melanin because it doesn't think it needs to, because we've literally left it in the dark. Pun intended, right? So here we are in a day and age where we're all wearing sunglasses. Everyone's got their Gucci glasses on, or their Burberry, or their fancy smancy whatever. But in reality, we're actually setting ourselves back for a restless night of sleep, for a sunburn, and so on. And so not only does melanin production basically stop when we wear sunglasses, another thing to keep in mind when this happens is that this is a very powerful hormone that actually is very anti-cancer as well. Now, I'm not saying that the sun causes cancer, or if you stop wearing sunglasses, you'll never get sun cancer. I'm not saying that, but we now scientifically know that if we're wearing sunglasses and we can't get that full spectrum of light into our eye, that our melanin production is decreased. It's almost halted. And this in itself can be terrible for the body because the skin is still getting the full spectrum of light. And if you're using those toxic sunscreens on your body, you're even creating more of a recipe for disaster. So when you think about the combination of sunglasses and toxic sunscreen, wonder why so many people are getting skin cancer and why so many people in general think the sun is bad for them. I mean, it makes sense because of how people live. Because if people are wearing sunglasses and they're putting on sunblock and they're out in the sun, then yeah, the research is right. They'll get cancer. But here's the caveat, guys. You don't need sunglasses and you don't need those toxic sunscreens. Now, I'm not saying you don't need to put any type of sunblock on your body, but 98% of all the sunscreen on the market is garbage. I always opt for something like coconut oil, tallow, and zinc oxide. That's what I use, and I absolutely love it. And that is the sunblock that I opt for. Now, I know a lot of people swear by raspberry seed oil, castor oil, and some of these polyunsaturated fats that you can put on your body to help get a nice tan, but I am not convinced. I'm just not convinced because the research is showing that these aren't the most ideal oils to put on your skin. However, we do know saturated fats like coconut oil and tallow are way safer for the skin, and if we want even more protection, we can add zinc oxide to the mix, and this will really create a natural sunblock. However, when I do use this formula of sunblock that I like to apply to my skin, I mainly concentrated on areas that get really hammered with the sun. So my nose, the tops of my shoulders, certain areas of my arms. And I just want to speak from experience right quick because guys, I live in Texas, it's hot, I've got a boat, we go to the lake every single weekend during the summer. And I literally stopped wearing sunglasses 2 seasons ago and I have not gotten burned. Now, I still do apply a little bit of that concoction that I mentioned, which is zinc oxide, coconut oil, and tallow. And I mix that up and I get in the right ratio. And I do apply that to sensitive areas on my body, like my nose, top of my shoulders. And I have noticed that I just don't get burned. And I also noticed that I tan way easier. I get a nice, more golden tan to my skin. So this is something that I'm not speaking from literature. I'm not just speaking from research. I'm speaking from experience. I had to ditch my shades and it sucked because I had some really cool shades. I liked wearing shades, But again, the research is showing it's disrupting our sleep. It's inhibiting our ability to naturally produce our own sunblock, which is our melanin production as well. Now let's talk a little bit about the pineal gland. Everyone knows about the pineal gland, right? This pineal gland, if you don't know, get a chart thrown up here. This is like your third eye. And this organ is extremely important. And it's something that you definitely want to pay attention to. Enlightenment, the pineal gland comes up. If you're into meditations, if you're into sexual kung fu, if you're into like perineum pumping and getting that chrism oil, the Christ within, if you're into getting that oil to rise, then you're going to be interested in the pineal gland. So I highly suggest you look into that. If you want me to talk more about that, I spent about 15 years studying it. I can do a video about that as well. But today we're talking about the sun and the pineal gland and sunglasses. And it turns out that the pineal gland needs a full spectrum of light as well. So we don't want to be putting shades and leaving our pineal gland in the dark as well. We want to illuminate that light, right? Like Jesus said, or Yahshua, excuse me. When thy eye is single, it will be filled of light. Wait, what light? What eye? Huh? What's going on here? Anyways, I digress. Bottom line is the pineal gland needs full spectrum light. And if it doesn't get that full spectrum of light, it's going to inhibit our mood and our sleep. So let's go deeper down that rabbit hole. It turns out our pineal gland helps produce serotonin, melatonin, and DMT. So if it's going to disrupt our sleep, it's going to disrupt our melatonin production, which will inhibit our production of DMT. Also, mood just general throughout the day, serotonin. Now, most of our serotonin is produced in the gut, but we have what's known as the gut-brain axis. And this is communication that's happening, guys. Just like we're finding out about the heart, how the heart runs the show, we actually have a communication channel from our gut to our brain. And so by not getting this full spectrum of light, our body is sending signals which are inhibiting the production of serotonin. So this is going to affect our mood. No matter how we look at it, guys, we definitely want to pay attention to how much we're wearing sunglasses. Now, I'm not here to say you should never wear sunglasses. I'm not saying that they're the worst thing in the world, that they're going to cause cancer and you're going to die, like a lot of people try to say. But I will say this, the research is interesting, and I believe we need to pay attention to it. And I would also suggest, try it out like I did. I spent the last 2 years not wearing sunglasses at all. And don't get me wrong, I didn't look as cool. But you know what? I don't give a shit. Because you know what? What other people think about me is none of my business. Ooh, that's heavy, right? That's a quote I read the other day, and it just stuck with me so well. We're so concerned about what other people think, but at the end of the day, they don't give up, and neither should you. Again, what other people think about you is none of your business. It doesn't matter. So who cares if you don't look cool? Who cares if you're squinting a little bit? And I would say this, just because we shouldn't wear sunglasses doesn't mean we shouldn't wear hats. We shouldn't wear things to protect our skin from the sun, especially if you're as fair-skinned as I am. However, I've noticed that when I'm not wearing sunglasses and I'm using the proper protection on my skin, that I get a nice golden tan, I get a nice glow to my skin, and I feel absolutely amazing. I actually thrive in the sun. I can't live without the sun, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna wear a hat. Doesn't mean I'm not occasionally gonna look at the UV index and make sure that I'm not blasting my skin completely. You know, I'm fair skinned, so I definitely have to take precaution when I'm out in the sun. But I know for a fact that I thrive when I'm getting lots of vitamin D. It's something that I love. I love being in Texas. I love getting the sun. I love being out in the sun. And when it comes winter here, I go and chase the sun. I'm going to Costa Rica. I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to the beach. I'm getting out of here and I'm getting into the sun. However, I'm not wearing sunglasses. I've done this for 2 years, guys, and I've literally not gotten burned at all. And it's crazy to me too, because I think about how many hours I'm out in the sun. And now I'm not saying that that will happen for you. I eat a very clean diet. I live a specific way. And I also make sure that I'm not out at peak UV times. You know, usually like 12 o'clock to like 3 o'clock is peak UV time. So during those times, I definitely do try to cover my skin more. But 3 o'clock on or early in the morning, I try to get out there and get bathed in the sun because I absolutely thrive in it. Now, last thing that I want to do is inhibit the ability for the sun to give me the energy requirements that I need. And I also do not want to inhibit my body's ability to protect myself from the sun. God gave us everything we need. It's all inside of us. All we have to do is keep things simple and feel limitless. If you guys found this video interesting, please give it a like. I don't know if you guys know this. If you like, you make a comment, or you share it, it really helps me produce more content, helps get the word out. So I really would appreciate that if you guys could do that for me. And if there's any topic here that maybe I touched on that you would like for me to talk more about, please just add that in the comments, guys. I'm here to support you guys and give you guys information that I find valuable, that have affected my life, that can hopefully, potentially affect you guys as well. I'm here to serve. Again, my name is Charles Barber. I'm the founder and formulator of Crucial 4 at Crucial 4 Farms, and I'm here to help you guys feel limitless. God bless.